see, let me get some decent light going here. Not super optimistic about a lot of people being here, but that is okay because I have my friend here and he'll always be here for me. Let's see. One person, someone's there. Who is it? Who is it? It's either one of my Facebook friends or Mikey. What's up? Ike. Matt, what's up, guys? Should I just bring out my guitar and just talk about Dave Matthews? I mean, I do have it sitting right here next to me. So 4 people. I'm shocked. That is about 2 more than I thought we were going to have on this whole thing. We're obviously going to talk about aliens. And that's the only thing that I've lined up to talk about. Because I feel like everyone either wants to talk about, not everyone wants to talk about the NFL. Not everyone wants to talk about proper English language. What's up, Ethan? Celeste, what's up? Dave Matthews, never heard of him. I have no idea. This really is great. This is really just a Carson Mac D&B chats. But see, Brewer, what's up? The gang's back again on a different channel. Oh, that's fantastic. So has anyone listened to Joe Rogan's latest podcast with that Avi? Is it Avi Leb? The guy that is, let's see, what is it? He worked at Harvard and he was on Joe Rogan this past weekend. They were talking about that. Oumuamua. Yes, Celeste, I want to talk about ghosts too. We're going to talk about, I want to talk about all the crazy stuff. Aliens, ghosts. Yeah, Brewer. Yeah, Matt, the alien guy. So he was talking about there's been this big thing about a deal that passed through our solar system. It's called Oumuamua, I think, or something. And it's just this big object. And he's one of the only people that is, he's not an astrophysicist. Oh, he's a theoretical physicist that works on astrophysics. Okay, so he is an astrophysicist. And he's just getting berated by all of his colleagues for saying that he thinks this thing is extraterrestrial. It's a great episode. Robert, what's up, man? So if y'all have not watched that episode of Joe Rogan, I think it's episode number 1596. Yeah, 1596. It's on Spotify and I guess YouTube. Now I don't know what Joe Rogan's thing is with Spotify and YouTube, but Matt, how's Gravedigger going for you? I love playing some Gravedigger. So Celeste, let's go. Ghosts, what you got? I'll tell you one thing I've got. It's LaCroix. Robert, have I seen Graham Hancock on Joe Rogan? No, I have not. Tell me more. Because I love watching some Joe Rogan. Like I said, I mean, there's not a lot of difference between me and what y'all are watching and Joe Rogan. I mean, it's hard-hitting, intellectual conversation. Yeah, Matt, I like that Willie Nelson version of Gravedigger too. I do like that. Mikey, I'm glad you're liking it. Glad you like it. Literally, we have 6 people here, which is amazing because I didn't think we would hardly have anyone. Did anyone get the reminder? Today was the first time I set up a reminder, and I still want to do some D&B chats on my other guitar channel. Did anybody get that? Did that work well, setting it up ahead of time as a reminder? Brewer, I do too. He said he misses Joe Rogan and Jerry Diaz podcast. I do too. I really enjoyed that. Ethan, you got it. Awesome. But so going back to this Avi Leb guy, his explanation is really cool. I'll try and give y'all just a kind of a short version. So he's saying that there was an object that passed through our solar system, and so a lot of his colleagues are just saying that it was a comet, an asteroid, all this stuff. But he was like, it didn't have any of the characteristics of a comet or an asteroid. It didn't have a vapor trail, it or a tail, I guess what they call it. But it's the tail is gas. It's all vapor from all of the ice that forms on a comet. And so it had no tail or anything like that. And as it approached the sun, it actually took off faster, which he said is a characteristic of comets. They get into the sun kind of pushes it off. But he said his issue with it was a reflective object, which did any of you guys see Elon Musk's communication, his what did he call it? All the link, the train and satellites that he put up. I think it was late last summer. And so it's all of these. It was like, you could see all of them. And it looked really crazy. Well, they were reflective. So his thing was like this, whatever this was flat and it was reflective. And this Avi guy said, he was my problem is that everyone has just completely dismissed this as not being Advent. What's up, man? I'm so glad you're here because we're talking about Advent is our resident astrophysicist, right? He's our UFO guy. So Advent, I'm talking about Avi Loeb that was on Joe Rogan. I don't know if you've seen it, but so anyways, so he said what was so crazy. He said he's just frustrated because everyone's giving him so much crap about calling this an extraterrestrial object. And he said it's just because it's he said it was just flat, it was reflective, it didn't have the characteristics of an asteroid or a comet. And then all these people are like, well, nobody, he said, no one is really thinking too far into it. They're just going, oh, it's not, and you're crazy. So I don't know. Y'all gotta watch it. It's super interesting because he goes into way more of the detail of what this thing is, what its characteristics are, and why he thinks. And he said, he goes, I'm not saying they're little green guys on that ship looking over at Earth, as they go by through our solar system. He goes, it could be space junk from some other form of life somewhere out there. He said, why not? He goes, why is this such a crazy thing to think? And he also thinks that all of his colleagues in the field of astrophysics are out of touch with you and I, just normal people. So there you go. What else do you want to talk about? Let's keep talking. Ghosts, Celeste. Oh, your cat can see ghosts. Or into another dimension, which is also fun to talk about. String theory. You can jump into string theory if you guys want to. I don't care. See these things I cannot. Okay, good. You all got the reminder. I'm going to start setting up the reminders for this and for the guitar YouTube channel. David, what's up, man? I don't. Video games. David asked if I played any video games. I have not. This is crazy. I have not played a video game since Nintendo 64 in the late 90s. I just missed the curve there. I don't know. I don't know. I just missed it. And I'm definitely in the minority of people, I think. So I get that. People ask me that a lot. But Call of Duty, all that stuff. Yeah, Nintendo 64 was by far the GOAT. I mean, I used to, like in the early 90s when I was a little kid, man, I played Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt like there was no tomorrow. RC Pro-Am? Anybody remember RC Pro-Am? That's taking it back. Seabrewer, okay. That's what if you're watching this sometime down the road, everyone needs to, in the comments, tell me what the GOAT of gaming systems is. So far, we have Nintendo 64, which I agree with, mainly because that was the last gaming system I used. And then Brewer says PlayStation 2. Advin. We got another one for Nintendo 64. GoldenEye. Man, Ike Atari. Love some Atari. Let's see, Matt. What about combat sports? MMA? Are we talking like boxing, MMA? What is that, David? Wait, now y'all might be getting into some stuff that I'm not very familiar with. ZX Spectrum. I'll just kind of let you guys take this because this is all. I feel like I can do well with this channel because I know a whole bunch of random stuff, or I'm interested in a whole bunch of random stuff. Gaming systems is not some of that stuff. Oh, Super Nintendo Entertainment System. See, I told you I don't know crap about gaming systems. I'm terrible. Robert, where did I grow up? I grew up right here in Lubbock, Texas. Moved to Dallas for about 5 years and just wasn't a fan. It just wasn't my style. I'm a pretty laid back person. Oh, we have an Xbox from Robert too. Xbox. Nintendo Scope. I never had a Nintendo Scope. Yeah, I just Dallas was my thing. That's right, Robert. The hometown of Buddy Holly is where we are. Hence the glasses. It's just our thing. Yeah, grew up here and lived in Dallas and moved back here. I love it. Ooh, man, David, that's a good one. Let's get some movie talk. I think I'm gonna do another just an episode tomorrow or Thursday. And I want to talk Netflix. Because man, I've been watching Peaky Blinders like there is no tomorrow, and I freaking love it. All right, favorite movies, Robert, Jaws. My favorite movie of all time. Man. Gosh, it is so hard. I was literally opening my mouth to say Shawshank Redemption. Mikey, A Few Good Men. Good one, Shawshank. See, but I know there's something else that I've seen within the past few years that I was like, that's my number one. And for the life of me, I cannot remember what it is. Yeah, David said not his favorite movie, but Gone Girl is really good. Gone Girl is fantastic. I really liked Gone Girl. I've only seen it once. Advent, Awakenings. I've never seen Awakenings, and I haven't seen. Matt is just The Gentleman. A Beautiful Mind, good one. Amistad, great. Big Lebowski. Sean. You got some really good ones there, Brewer. The ones that really take the deep thought, like Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz. I'm just giving you crap. Let's see. Celeste, I've never seen True Romance. Secretary. Man, am I out of the loop on movies here? What? I just feel like I've seen a really, really good movie recently. And for the life of me, I cannot remember what the heck it is. Oh, Sword in the Stone. That's what it was. I was watching with my son the other night. Probably put Sword in the Stone way up there on my list. David, you watched an Adam Sandler movie with Dave Matthews in it. Was it I Pronounced You Chuck and Larry? He was in that one. Or the one with Jennifer Aniston. Robert, guitar question. Go. Let's hear it. And Celeste, yes, Labyrinth. Very good. Sixth Sense. Man, I haven't seen Sixth Sense in forever. I watched Forrest Gump for the first time in a long time the other day, by the way. Forget how fantastic that movie is. Let's see. The Gentleman, okay, Matt. The Gentleman, Guy Ritchie directed it. I've never heard of that. That's awesome. Brewer, you know what's funny is I've never seen Eyes Wide Shut. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, never seen that. I watched The Revenant the other day. Man, that's a great movie. I'm a big Tom Hardy fan. I've become a big. I didn't like the new Mad Max very much. Did anyone like the new Mad Max that much with Tom Hardy? I just think he's fantastic. Like I said, I'm in my Peaky Blinders mode, and so Tom Hardy is just. That's right, Celeste. The Revenant is awesome. Okay, we get a guitar question here. Robert, I've never used a pick. When I do, it sounds very strong on the strings. Okay, so I happen to have a pick right here. So when you're holding that pick, Robert, I'm afraid that you might have too much of the pick hanging out right here, and it's getting too deep into the strings. So I mean, usually when I'm playing, I don't have more than that much of the pick hanging out into the strings. So could that be it? I would think that you might just be having too much of that. I see a lot of people that have that issue sometimes. Think about that. Let me know if that might be it. But yeah, Mikey, just go with it is the one. And yeah, don't mess with the Zohan with Dave Matthews. That's awesome. Point Break, absolutely. Oh, Celeste, Catch Me If You Can. Have you ever read the book too? I love that movie. I love that book. Catch Me If You Can. Wasn't that a true story? It was. I think it was. That was just so good. Brewer, Cobra Kai, and Stranger Things. If we're going I'm gonna throw those in on Netflix. I like it. Yeah. Okay. Advin, you said right there that Catch Me If You Can is a true story. David, I look like another guy on YouTube who also plays guitar. See if you can figure out who it is. I get to see that. Robert, are you holding it like that with too much? Is that what you're saying? Because that'll do it, man. Oh, Ike, yes, I saw The Joker, and it was fantastic. I used to be way into acting and stuff, just for the fun of it. When I lived in Dallas, it's just kind of a side thing. Get to do some extra parts and some stuff, and that was really cool. But yeah, I love stuff like The Joker when you have someone that acts as amazingly as Joaquin Phoenix did in that. Too much pluck. Ethan, what's the worst injury I've ever had? I'm afraid I'm gonna have to knock on wood on this one because the only thing I've ever done was broken my finger. Well, I take that back. I used to race dirt bikes as a kid, like all over the South, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, New Mexico, a whole bunch of different places. Fell and just completely destroyed my collarbone, but it didn't break. Like this was all just completely bruised. Like it had the imprint of my chest protector on it. That was probably the worst. The broken finger wasn't that bad. That was just the only thing I've ever broken. So I like this. I like the questions. Let's see. It is very alien head shaped. That's awesome. It's very observant of you, Celeste. Advin, I haven't seen Strange Days. Let's see. Ike, take it easy, bud. We'll see you later. Oh, we got 9 people on here, guys. This is getting crazy. This is a lot. Let's see. Okay, we got some good stuff. All right, Brewer. I'll check that out on Insta. I have my phone right here, so I can just check it out. Okay, David said if I like M. Night Shyamalan, you would recommend the new show called Servant. Season 2 just started. Very good. Is that on Netflix? Sounds amazing. Advent, maybe guitar picks or fuel sources for alien spacecraft hidden in plain sight. I want to hear. So, okay, so moving on from movies, I want to hear. I don't know. Ghost stories are gonna creep me out. I'm scared of the dark. Let's talk about ghosts. Let's do it. Has anyone had a paranormal experience? For real though. Like your head can build up so much stuff. All right, Brewer, I'll check that out. If you stack up enough guitar picks on each other, it builds an alien ship. Inside sources. I don't believe you. I'm kidding, I do. Celeste, I believe everything that you say, I do. Celeste, it was a good little, I liked your little guitar solo by the other day you posted on Instagram. That was really good. See, that's what I always feel. Okay, so on the ghost front, let's jump into it. Celeste, you said that you've never seen a ghost, but you love hearing ghost stories. I do too, but what percentage of paranormal experiences have people had that are just their mind building things up? Like last night, I had to go feed my sister and brother-in-law's dog. Their house is really big. They have this really big open living room, and there are just like doors up on the landing of the second level. And like I could look up there. I could look up there and just my mind plays tricks on me, and I could sit there and say, "Oh well, I think I saw a ghost." Or it's like you think you see something move because you know your anxiety mode is just all like, you know, you're just seeing, you know, it's that old part of your brain, you know, our caveman brain sitting there going, you know, trying to see, you know, seeing all the little movements of things and probably making things up that aren't actually there. See, Advent, I feel like one day you just need to just come on this show and we can just talk about it. Because Advent is, if y'all look in the comments of some of the other videos, Advent has some cool stuff that he just kind of breezes over. It's not too detailed about stuff, but he said he's had quite a few paranormal / extraterrestrial experiences, which is awesome. Matt, I'm not on any reefer. Only LaCroix. And a little bit of whiskey every once in a while. A little bourbon. Probably more often than I should, but that's what happens when you get all stressed out and have a business and COVID sucks the life out of you. Celeste, I believe in the human brain's ability to fabricate illusions. I won't believe in ghosts until I see one. I agree with that. I will go with you on that. Yeah, if everybody wants to jump into a rabbit hole, jump into some NDE. If you look up some near-death experience stuff on YouTube, I like to believe some of it because I like to believe there's something beyond this life. But man, you get some crazy shit from some of those people. It's truly insane. Let's see. Where am I? It'd be cool. Advin, where are you? Because you said coming to Texas would be cool. Robert, congrats on your channel. Yeah, that's my thing. I just like hanging out and just talking with all y'all. I mean, like I said, David, take it easy, man. Yeah, I just enjoy doing this. I don't think I'm gonna have I'm not like revolutionizing YouTube here or anything, but I just thought it'd be entertaining, just talk about a bunch of random crap for an hour or so. And I'll just come up with these episodes of just like random fun news stuff because I hate the regular news. I'm sure most people do. Matt, cigars. I don't smoke any cigars. I don't do cigars. I think in my younger days when I would have maybe a little more alcohol than I should, My friends thought it would be cool to have cigars, and I would pretty much throw up every time I would do it. So cigars, it just ruined me on them. Brewer never understood how people believe in God, but not aliens or ghosts. Always found it strange. I'm not knocking anybody's religion. Yes, I completely understand what you're saying because I agree with you. I believe in God. I believe in the afterlife. I believe I believe there is something beyond what we see here. And that's where you get into like that's where I love talking about like the multi-dimensional things, stuff like that's fun to talk about. And not like in a weird, insane way. Like you got to have some kind of a base for it. If like string theory, let's explain string theory and why you think that can happen. But yeah, people, yeah, I see what you're saying for sure. I think if you can believe in one thing that you cannot touch and see, why can't you believe in another thing that you can't touch and see? It's a thought. I like it. Again, nothing against anyone's religion. I'm religious, but I can also have a conversation about stuff. Okay, Advin, you agree to a certain degree, and certainly do believe that many influences can affect our perception and lack of logical thought and reasoning to rule out natural causes. Yes, I do. Man, because I had crazy anxiety, panic disorder, all this stuff for a very long time. And I'll still have bouts of it every once in a while, but I studied so much of it. About why I was anxious. Why is it this? I'm so interested in psychology now. It's like if I could go back and do school again, I would go. I love psychology, understanding why we think the way we do, and you just get all that like caveman wiring that we have in our brains for certain things is just crazy how it you can like back back when you had like saber-tooth tigers and all this stuff, your pupils dilating and all these different things to where you're actually, you're just seeing things that are up close and basically your brain is not looking at anything beyond that. Just stuff like that. I just think is awesome. Let's see. Okay, Celeste, sorry, I got a little backed up here. Oh, Advin, you're in the UK, dude. That's awesome. Crop circles? Is that what your experiences are? It's crop circles, isn't it? Yep. Celeste Brewer, I think there's a contradiction in the Bible somewhere where ghosts can't exist. You either go to heaven or hell and other planes of existence. Advent, yeah. Vancouver, man. If you lived in Vancouver, I can imagine living anywhere else. Brewer, agreed. Oh, Advent, so Birmingham. Talk about Peaky Blinders. Yeah, so the NDE stuff, yeah, Advin's talking about that. The NDE stuff is really cool. And, if you guys have any kind of weird ghost, just if you're interested in any of the ghosts, paranormal stuff, man, near-death experience stuff is pretty awesome. Brewer, have I read up on the stoned aped? Aped is it just aped? Stoned? I would assume is aped, but you never know. It could be some abbreviation for something. I would assume stoned ape theory. I have not actually. Enlighten me, bro. I have to watch The Mind Explained on Netflix. They have an episode relating to the fight or flight instincts and anxiety in the modern day. It's crazy. It's crazy, guys. I mean, full on. I'm going to be honest with you guys on everything on this. I mean, that's why I'm complete open book on pretty much everything. I mean, I would freeze. I would freeze in like a grocery store. And this just came out of nowhere. There was nothing that caused this. I've always been a real anxious kid growing up and stuff. I was real kind of timid. And I was shy when I was little. I became less shy as I got into high school and stuff. But I was still always had no confidence. I mean, all of you guys pretty much follow me on CMAC. So go back and watch like my Let You Down, JTR, satellite tutorials. It's horrible. It's horrible. I'm horrified, This is how you play. And like, it was just me for a long time. And that was getting kind of to the height of my anxious years. But yeah, I would like freak out in a grocery store for nothing. I started studying it, man. Anybody ever has any questions about anxiety disorders? I'm here for you, but I'm not a doctor. Let's see. Ethan, my thoughts on marijuana. This is a good one. I like this. Robert, I did acting. I just did acting in Dallas. It was just, I was managing a restaurant, and it was just something really fun that I enjoyed doing on the side. So I didn't do like LA, New York, and even Austin's kind of become a big hub for acting, but it was mainly, it was just in Dallas. But so my thoughts on marijuana. My thoughts on marijuana can be traced back to my thoughts on government. I don't think the government needs to have anything hardly to do with your personal life or what your decisions are. Do I smoke it? No. Do I think that you are a bad person for doing it? Absolutely not. Is someone a bad person for drinking alcohol? No, which I think is probably more dangerous than smoking marijuana. So do your thing, I guess, you know, whatever. It's not legal here in Texas. So, I mean, do I think it should be legal? Probably. Yeah. I just don't care. I'm just a very, very kind of libertarian on my political beliefs. I think we have a pretty wrecked system in this country. And the fact that there are still people that are in prison for minor marijuana offenses is kind of a travesty, to say the least. Okay, Brewer, we're going back to the stoned ape theory. Graham Hancock theory that monkeys were eating extreme doses of psychedelic mushrooms and their brains evolved throughout time. Not the best explaining things, but no, that makes sense though. Everybody go look into that. That sounds really cool. I might have to take notes here for stoned ape theory. And I'm going to look that up and we'll talk about that on one of the episodes coming up. Matt, thanks. My horrible is much better than what was out there for Dave content. I appreciate that, man. I do. I am going to redo those here in the next week, by the way. So you're going to get Let You Down Satellite and JTR probably again here in the next couple of weeks. It's just got to be updated. The channel's become popular enough that I want to have good credit with it being a good channel. So Advin, you use weed because of your mental health, shuts off noises in your head. The UK had stupid and backward laws on drugs. I gotcha. I think that's the way it is for most people. And then once you realize that everybody else's mental health is just about as screwed up as your own, you kind of change your perspective on the world. Robert, read Graham Hancock's book, Supernatural. Nice. Legal in New Brunswick, Canada. Nice, Matt. Ethan, what do I think about skateboarding? I wish I had done it more as a kid. That's what I think about skateboarding. I would love to get my kid. He's going to be 2 in a couple of weeks. I would love to get him a skateboard because it's one thing that I wish I would have done. I wish I would have skateboarded more. My dad invented a really cool skateboard when I was a kid, and it was a great idea, and it's not out there yet, so I still might invent it one day, so I'm not going to talk about it on the internet. Avin, you're exactly right. We should have like full, we're not talking like hoverboards, like with wheels where you're sitting here trying to balance yourself. I'm talking Back to the Future hoverboards. Totally agree. Brewer is our resident roller skater, and he's very good. I've seen his videos on Instagram. I would love to get my kid into. I used to roller skate all the time when I was a little kid. It was a blast. Celeste, Right there with you. We would have hoverboards if it weren't for the government hiding anti-gravity from us. Exactly. Exactly. Ethan, who was my favorite skateboarder? I'm not even, it's not Tony Hawk's. Like, man, Ethan, that's a really good question. I would say now it's Rob Dyrdek because I think Rob's hilarious and I love ridiculousness. That's my cop out answer. Matt, do I lift? No, but I do cardio like there's no tomorrow. I love to do cardio. Yeah, I have a Peloton. Anybody wants to that has a Peloton? I'm Carson 41, and I try to do it at least 5 times a week. I freaking love it. Robert, surfing. I tried to surf one time, and I did it pretty well. After I graduated high school, the girl I was dating at the time, her family was from San Diego, so we went out to La Jolla area, and learned to surf. It was my lips turned blue. It was freezing cold, but that was awesome. Okay, so correction, Brewer. The stoned ape theory was Terence McKenna, not Graham Hancock. Matt, Steve Caballero. Ethan, favorite skater is Rodney Mullen. Nice. I forgot about that name, to be honest with you. Robert, you're from New Jersey and you surf all winter. Really? Is that a fact? Really? Interesting. Very interesting. Matt, is that a bike? Is what a bike? The Peloton. Yes, sorry. I forgot what I was talking about a minute ago. Yes, Peloton is the one with the screen and the live classes and all that. Yeah, so anyone that has a Peloton, find me. There's really nothing. I don't know why you have followers on Peloton. You're really just looking at what each other's doing. Advent, am I going to be doing a cooking segment with pies? I should, but I don't want to give away all of our great secrets to the world because our pies are so amazing. I'm just kidding. They are really good though. They are really good. I'll have to do some of these live streams when I head down to Austin here in a few weeks. We will be down there opening up our new store, hopefully, within the next 6 weeks. So I have to do a live chat with you guys down there, show you around. Not that anybody gives a crap. Y'all just want to talk about ghosts and aliens, which is totally fine by me. But other than pies, I'm not really that good at cooking. Take it easy, Ethan. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Man, we're staying consistent with 8 people here. This is quite amazing. Celeste, her question is 9/11 off limits for discussion? Okay, so I have very personal memories from 9/11. So we'll see. What are you say something about 9/11, Celeste, and we'll see if we'll talk about it. Brewer, I like where you're going. Don't get me started on 9/11. Matt, do I make crusts in-house? Yes, we do. We sure do. Yeah, see, the thing is, Celeste, like, I give you my okay. Have I ever seen footage of a controlled demolition? Sure. Yeah, I've seen that. Because all that stuff is interesting to me. I do not think that 9/11 is an inside government conspiracy. I saw two hijacked massive airplanes live in my living room that morning. I was 18 years old and watched two massive planes crash into buildings and then another one crash into the Pentagon. And knowing that, and so my cousin, who's a big structural engineer in Dallas, I've had this conversation with him. He said the temperature at which that steel was melting would absolutely collapse those two buildings. That there's no doubt about that. Everything else, like the number 7 tower and all that stuff. If everybody wants to jump off and talk about whatever on that, that's fine. I don't think there's any kind of conspiracy, and I'm a huge conspiracy person. I don't trust anything that has to do with our government. I don't think politicians give two flying craps about us, to be honest. I think it's all self-interest, and but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I'm just such a sentimental, because man, that 9/11 really messed me up. So take that for what you will. Yeah, see, Advent, I mean, he said, how do you explain saying that the tower fell before it actually did? Wait, what do you mean on one of the twin towers? Oh, number 7. I'm sorry, I didn't. I could just look below that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I that is a slippery slope that I don't know. That's the kind of the point where I don't know if I want to get too much into it, because I'm like, I just don't know. You can say that so and so said that. I wasn't there. That's tough. Yeah, that's a slippery slope that could get kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's a fun discussion though. I know that's why people want to talk about. Like I said, there's really not much that's off limits here. It's just let's see. See, Celeste. Okay, Celeste said there's multiple interviews that were done on the news that day with the same guy doing the interview each time, wearing different clothing, using a different name. So was he on like major news networks? Was he like in the rubble? Was he like down there? Because I mean, there's things like that, obviously, that could be completely made up and doctored. So I don't know. Like I said, it's going to take someone literally showing me someone planning a bomb to prove to me, or to try and prove to me, that 9/11 was some inside conspiracy or something. But keep talking about all that. It just, like I said, I just won't get too crazy about it. Yeah. Yeah, Celeste said, obviously you don't have any proof, but just wonder. Yep, I do. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I could go on about my thoughts about our government and politicians, but that would probably bore people. What are your views on firearms? Do some background. I mean, everything that we do in Texas is fine. With firearms, I grew up hunting with my dad. I have guns. I think, I mean, guns need to stay out of the wrong people's hands. But yeah, I think, the way we do it in Texas is, we do very thorough background checks and rarely have any incidences. So. Matt, I actually just sold a motorcycle of mine about a year ago, because I just didn't have any time for it, and I needed a little bit of money, obviously, with COVID and all that. Wait, Celeste, on another note, what's the slipperiest country? Elaborate. Elaborate on slipperiest. Yeah, Advent. Again, any kind of politics that we're gonna get in, mine is gonna be very. I'm very much an individualist type person. Um, I, maybe I have more faith in each individual than I should. But I'm Celeste. Thank you. I literally thought you meant like scumbags, like slippery, like just like trying to screw people over. What is the slipperiest country? The answer was Greece. Greece. It's fantastic. Braden, what's up, man? No, Braden, it is a total free for all. We've gone from aliens to movies to Netflix to 9/11 conspiracy theories. Right now, we're kind of in between. Other than talking about the slipperiest countries. Oh, and then we kind of got onto firearms. My views on people having firearms. And get into the wrong people's hands, bad things are going to happen. Brewer picked up a new AR with a ton of rounds a couple of weeks ago. Just waiting. Better than go out inside and shoot. Awesome. Matt, I would assume that wah wah is in response to Celeste's joke. Celeste, I like the older Outcast. I was a big fan of Bombs Over Baghdad, and keep that. Actually, I used to listen to that in high school, and I still keep it in my. I like to keep it on my workout playlists. Celeste, that did land pretty well for me. I did think the Grease joke was funny. Makari, what's up? All right. Favorite band other than DMB? This is always hard because it's just like, I don't know. Let's go. Let me look on it's sad that I have to actually like look on my Spotify and tell you guys. Just seeing what like my top songs of last year were. It's all over the place. There's this older like kind of punk band called Saves the Day that I used to love. Saves the Day, Alice in Chains, Angels and Airwaves, Incubus, Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. I like, of course, a lot of guitar stuff. I like Trace Bundy. I like Antoine Dufour. I mean, if you guys want to get in some awesome guitar stuff, get in with those guys. Punch Brothers. It's kind of a bluegrass sounding. I mean, I go between all those a lot. I've been listening to podcasts a lot lately too. I've been on a big podcast kick lately, and so I don't listen to music as much anymore as I should. Makari, do I listen to any blues? Yeah, a little bit. Not because because I love blues, but I just don't listen to it as much as I should. Advent, I'm not a big electronic music guy, not a big one. Celeste, most badass instrument. She votes violin. I vote cello. Cello is my favorite sounding instrument that I've ever heard in my life, and I'd love to learn how to play it. I would put violin second right behind that. Let's see. Braden, any newer artists or pop music that you like? Absolutely not. No. I'm sorry, man. Maybe I'm not listening in the right spots. I've been on kind of I like the Lumineers. I mean, they're not really like that new pop, So I like the Lumineers. I've been on a Gregory Alan Isakov kick lately too. Gregory Alan Isakov is awesome. Mikhail Carson, you were right about John Mayer live. I'm halfway through live in LA and it's great. I had told Mikhail that John Mayer live, you can call him a pop, whatever. He just has he's one of the best guitarists of the past 30 years, and he doesn't get the credit that he deserves. Let's see. Advent, I've never heard of Crystal Singing Bowls. Have I? I don't think I have, at least. Brewer says, check out James Bay's album Chaos and the Calm. I've heard a couple of songs that you put up on your Instagram stories, and it sounds good. Macari, the only other, I have my Martin acoustic, I have my Taylor 214 acoustic, and the only other one I have is a Fender Stratocaster Lone Star Edition. That's the one that I was going to try and do some of the electric tutorials on my guitar channel. Elizabeth, listening to a lot of Wolfpack. Interesting. Modern funk soul. That sounds kind of cool. Oh, that's cool. Advent. Gregory Alan Isaacoff filmed a video in the next county over just a few years back. Man, that's cool. Matt, I like Trampled by Turtles isn't bad. It's not my favorite, but it's better than a lot of stuff that's come out lately. I would say that for sure. Macari, John Mayer's my favorite dude. Puts blues and rock and on the radio, and his songwriting is genius. I would not argue with any of that. And I feel like he's gotten just progressively better over the past 20 years. I mean, because if you think about Room for Squares was fantastic. I loved Room for Squares. There's some great stuff on Room for Squares, but just how he's just musically developed, it's really impressive. Mikhail, Stop This Train is great. Man, so I keep going back and forth. I would love to expand my guitar channel and get a lot more subscribers and do some different artists and stuff. I just don't really know where to start, but Matt, Milky Chance. I don't know. What is that? Milky Chance. Macari, you like his music a lot. Sometimes his falsetto makes you cringe because he uses too much air. I definitely agree with that. Yeah, Braden, can't get the finger picking technique down for Stop This Train. Yeah, see, that's finger picking. Y'all know it kills me. See, Celeste even says, so Celeste, you'd say finger picking on Stop This Train is harder than Black and Bluebird, because Black and Bluebird killed me. Brewer, I did not know that Room for Squares was actually recorded on a Dave Matthews Martin Edition guitar. I did not know that. That was awesome. Matt, I have never heard of Milky Chance. I have not. Celeste, gosh. Maybe if that's harder than Black and Bluebird for you, maybe it'll be easier for me. Because see, I think Grace Is Gone is an easy finger picking song. Oh, percussive in addition to more chord movement. That'll get you. Yeah, see, it's the time signature on Black and Bluebird too that gets me. Sorry, I don't want to get too far off on Dave Matthews stuff because I can do that on my other channel. But because I still want to do live chats over there about all that stuff. I get about, excuse me, it's not COVID, just had something in my throat. So let's get one more good topic in, and then we'll call it a night for tonight. Because it's almost my son's bedtime. Let's talk about the Capitol. Boom. It was like just right on cue. Right on cue, Celeste. Let's talk about the Capitol. Not really. We're not going to talk about the state Capitol. Other than the guy, and we're making this funny, people. Anybody that's watching this down the road, don't get all butthurt about it. But the freaking Buffalo guy standing at the front of the Senate chamber, whatever you call it, was hilarious. The picture was so funny to me. And I'm sure people are like, oh, people got hurt. I'm not being insensitive. You can laugh at things sometime, everybody. That was funny. That damn guy standing up there in Nancy Pelosi's seat or whatever. It's just that was some funny stuff. And like Brewer said, it could have been a lot worse. It really could have been a lot worse. But you know what, people, it's okay to laugh sometimes in this day and age where there's zero sense of humor. Let's go. Subject. Somebody spit one out at me. 5 minutes. Let's go. What do we got? Celeste, did he really do that? You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. From who's from Mickle? From Mickle. A couple of Halloween costumes, and from that incident, yes, I would agree. And Advent, laugh at the darkness, embrace it. It's less dinosaurs. I talk dinosaurs all day with my son. He freaking loves them. He'll put on little dinosaur, like little T-Rex shirts and just chase me around the house. He loves it. Braden, Super Bowl. I think Mahomes is going to play. So I'm going to go Chiefs. And I think Tom Brady's going to pull it out, man. That's just, the guy's ridiculous. It's just that he just has that deal where, yeah, they could be 11-5 during the regular season. I think he's going to beat Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a bad game, and I think it's going to be Tampa Bay and the Chiefs. Matt, take it easy, man. Makari, do I have any odd interests? Do I have any odd interests? There's psychology, just a lot of psychology. There are just some. I'm just crazy obsessed with psychology. I don't know. I know it's not really an odd. I know it's not weird. It's not like a strange interest, but man, I love it. I agree with the fact that it'd be Tampa Bay and Kansas City, but I'd like the opposite to happen. Oh, Braden, can't go against my boy Patrick. I think he got in trouble for being named Pat on one broadcast. His mom got mad at the announcer because she called him Pat. His name's Patrick. I was going to tell you guys something. I was going to start a great new subject, and I cannot remember. Let's see. What do y'all got? We have about 3 minutes left here. And dinosaurs. Celeste, what are you going to talk about? We're going to talk about dinosaurs. Talk about dinosaurs. Like I said, I have a lot of crazy knowledge of dinosaurs because my son loves them so much, and we'll just sit there and watch dinosaur YouTube videos. Sorry, I'm sending a text real quick. Celeste, I think that long-necked dinosaurs use their necks for things other than eating leaves. I would think that they would probably use them almost as like a boa constrictor would use it to choke someone out. I would think that possibly they could do something with their neck somehow. And maybe if they had enough power to crush something, who knows? Mike. Elizabeth, you had a neck. What would you do? I'm just kidding. Mike, black licorice. How's that still a thing? Have no idea. It's the worst tasting. Literally, I'm there. I mean, I can't imagine anything tasting worse than black licorice. Sorry, guys, I'm getting backed up. Advent. Dinosaurs could have engaged in necking like giraffes. It could have been a mating ritual. Oh, Braden, I've been actually been meaning to do a tutorial of that. I've thought about. I think that'd be a fun tutorial to do of the that original song that I wrote. That'd be fun. Can anyone that's on here? There's just 11 people. This is record-setting moment for us here. Does anyone like black licorice? I can't imagine anyone saying yes. No one is saying yes. Nope. Nope. Yep. Crickets. Yep. Has anyone ever had a popcorn flavored jelly bean? Oh, that's second place behind black licorice. Guys and Celeste. Because I think you're the only girl on here. But Av and I've never had Marmite. Never had it. Guys, I will post up a little episode tomorrow or the next day. I think we're going to do Netflix. We're going to talk a little Stone Date theory, and I'm going to talk about the Black Knight satellite. Macari, I'd like black licorice if I had a gun against my head. That's a perfect note to end on right there. That's awesome. Thanks for everybody for joining. This was a lot of fun. Like I said, I'll start doing this once or twice a week. I'll keep these episodes kind of coming out because honestly, it just is a ton of fun for me to do. So yeah, Celeste, I agree. Big Newtons make you want to put your head through the wall. I'm right there with you. Guys, it was a blast. Hope y'all have an awesome night and a great rest of your week. And I will hopefully maybe see you guys sometime this weekend. My wife and my son are out of town on weekends, so I'll probably have a ton of time to just sit here and talk about shit. Adios, everybody.